Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Tesla's Cube. I'm AcceleReece, and this is a Hot Wheels original showcase. Today, we're reviewing the one, the only, Sling Shot. Sling Shot is a Hot Wheels fantasy casting, or a Hot Wheels original as some call it, that was designed by Nathan Proch and was first released in 2002.
This is a 2002 Hot Wheels Sling Shot.
What you're looking at right now is the first edition of the Sling Shot from 2002 in its original packaging. As you can see, that iconic early 2000s packaging with Showstopper on the card back right there. There's the back of the box in case you're curious. Guys, there's a sweepstakes. If you enter, you can get a chance to win a prize. You can see some of the other new models from 2002 right there, 40-something side draft, the Hyundai Spider concept. And there's an ad here for the old MMO, Planet Hot Wheels. Boy, those were the days. I want to start doing these videos where I review Hot Wheels fantasy castings, and I thought, what better car to start with than arguably my favorite casting of all time, Sling Shot. Now, I have a lot of favorite castings. It's really hard for me to pick one, but if I was held at gunpoint and made to pick one, this is probably it. Sling Shot is just legendary, and we'll get into why here in a sec. Now that we've seen this classic, iconic packaging design, let's just show it out of the package and get right to the review with a loose copy. So here's Sling Shot in all its glory. This is Hot Wheels Fantasy royalty right here. If you don't know much about Hot Wheels Fantasy, you've come to the right place. This channel, we're all about awesome Hot Wheels Fantasy cars, Hot Wheels originals, so stick around for more reviews. But right now, we're taking a look at this Sling Shot. This is the first edition, and once I go over this, we'll check out some other versions of it that released. This first edition is in this beautiful metal flake dark blue. We got a chrome interior and that scoop on the top and the big side pipe on the side are part of the interior. We've got a raw Zamac metal base with a metal body, that's right. This is a metal on metal fantasy car. They used to do cars like this, they don't anymore. So this original Sling Shot is kind of a relic of a bygone era. We got a dark kind of smoked out window piece there. Nice and simple. They keep them pretty clean for first editions. We got a bit of a tampo graphic there on the upper side with a black flame, white outline. We got the Hot Wheels logo right there and then Sling Shot. And it is the same on the other side. On the front, there's a little logo there. I'm not quite sure what that stands for, but maybe it's just a little design that looks cool. And we got black PR5s with a chrome rim. PR stands for Phil Reelman. He designed this wheel type. This is a very timeless wheel type. It is still being used today. No taillight details, no other sort of little details like that. It's just mainline Hot Wheels casting from 2002. So Sling Shot is clearly a purpose-built race car. It's got a little bit of like F1 in it. You can see the way the engine is set up, like the seat is right up against the big scoop there, right against the engine, its rear engine. The reason it's called Sling Shot is from the top view, it looks, well, like a slingshot. That's where the name comes from with the design on the top there. We got small wheels in the front and like medium size in the back. This car has a really cool stance to it. It's just very aggressive looking, which I really love. And then once you get up towards the back, we have these like floating sort of fins there. And if you look inside the fins, you can see the engine in there. The window piece kind of holds in between the body there. And part of the reason why this is one of my favorite Hot Wheels cars, just in general, not only because is this just one of the coolest looking designs for a car like ever. Back in the early 2000s, before all the cost cutting that they did in the 2010s, the designers were allowed to get a lot more creative with the build configurations of these castings, like how the pieces and the parts come together. And you really don't appreciate this original Sling Shot casting until you open one up. So maybe we should do just that. Okay, here's a Sling Shot that I recently opened up for the wheels. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm not going to include the wheels, just to keep things simple here. But as you can see, we got one rivet there in the front, which I had to drill out, and then this tab here. So if we're gonna open this up, we would start by opening that rivet right there. and we're gonna slide that tab out. And the base comes off like that. Now, you'll see this big bar here with the tab where it's slotted in, and the interior piece is tucked under that bar. So that's how you get that floating rear end, is that whole tucked part right there. When I put it back together, you'll see what I mean. But there's a place for the rivet right there in the interior, and we're going to slide the interior out, just like that. So now you can see that bar a bit better. It hangs between these two side panels here. And the window piece is also tucked in there, so you have to pull it out this way. And there's the window piece for you. And the wheels and the axles would just go in these slots right here, which, as you can see, I have cut and drilled out so I could get those wheels out. You get a good look at the engine there. There's a Sling Shot engine without any obscurities. You can see the headers into the giant side pipes there. There's the interior. Got 2 seats, the shifter, steering wheel. There's the dash. So imagine you're in the factory, right? And now you have all the parts laid out that have been produced. Now you got to assemble the car, right? Now, nowadays, a machine just sandwiches them together vertically, but back then, a pair of human hands like mine, a worker, would put them back. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna tuck in the interior. And the interior just kind of clicks in there. It's got little tabs and whatnot for support so that it can sort of click into place. To get that interior back in, we're gonna tuck that through, and it does not tuck easily. It's a very tight fit. Did you hear it click? I had to like kind of shove it through there. Yeah, that scoop will just fit right up in there. So now that that's fitted in there, I guess you can see it wiggles a little bit. Then we can get the base on. And you have to start from the rear end with that tab right there. So we're gonna slide that tab in. And then the front end will go down just like that. And that's how an original Sling Shot assembles. And that's why it had to be retooled. Along with being metal on metal and just having a good amount of weight to it and just making it feel very quality, the car is also really good on the track. This is a fantastic track car, which is rare for really heavy cars like this with metal bodies, because usually cars that have a lot of metal are top heavy, especially if you have like a more modern mainline where either it's, you know, plastic body, metal base, which is ideal for track performance because this is a lower center of gravity. So the car will make jumps and loops and turns a lot better. And then what they use mostly for collector stuff and licensed cars is metal body, plastic base, which this makes the car very top heavy, so it's not ideal for track performance. A lot of times the cars will just flip over in like a turn or a loop or something. The original Sling Shot casting is one of those rare occasions where you have a metal on metal fantasy car that is fantastic on the track. It is just awesome. I don't know, the way the side panels and then the fins kind of split at the middle there, and then you can kind of see the engine through it. It's just such a cool design. Got taillights on the back here. Now, the casting does not show any headlights, but there have been a couple interpretations of how Sling Shot might have headlights. In Hot Wheels World Race, it had pop-up headlights, which I think is pretty cool. And in some other appearances in like video games, and I think even the concept sketch for Sling Shot, it's shown with headlights just kind of on the front there. Personally, I prefer those pop-up headlights. And speaking of those pop-up headlights, after 2002, Sling Shot's legacy only continued to go on, as it very famously appeared in Hot Wheels World Race, which was an animated miniseries that aired on Cartoon Network in 2003. It was then compiled into a movie, which you can see on this DVD right here. And as you can see, Sling Shot is right there, front and center on the front cover, even though the driver of this car is not the main character. It's actually that guy up there in the Diora 2. Funny enough, Sling Shot and the Diora 2 were designed by the same designer, Nathan Proch, who was the lead designer in the late 90s and early 2000s. He's a legendary designer, did a lot of legendary fantasy cars. This is the Sling Shot they released for the Hot Wheels World Race series, which had 35 cars to celebrate 35 years of Hot Wheels, Highway 35 World Race. This car was driven by the infamous Kurt Wilde.
Nobody beats Kurt Wilde.
This car was for Street Breed, as you can see. This series used what they called fusion graphics, which was a little bit different than tampos. Tampos are more like a stamp that can only use about 4 colors, whereas these fusion graphics were more like water slides. So they could do pretty much whatever they wanted with these decals. This World Race one also sports the, at the time, brand new coal mold wheels. These are the coal mold 5-spoke, or CM5 for short. They are a 2-piece wheel that are cold molded together in the manufacturing process. The wheel and the tire are both plastic. That way it can have that sort of premium real rider look while retaining track performance, since the plastic is a lower amount of friction. This one again is metal on metal. Got a nice metal flake purple body. It has matte black side panels, which it did not have that in the show, so that's very strange why they did that, but it does look cool, I must admit. Got a green window there, chrome interior again. Bare metal Zamac base, metal on metal once again. We got Hot Wheels Highway 35 on the hood there, Street Breed on the upper side, and number 8 on the tail. Kurt Wilde was number 8 on Team Street Breed. He was the team leader. Kurt would continue to drive his Sling Shot into the Hot Wheels AcceleReece sequel series in the first movie, Hot Wheels AcceleReece Ignition, in the Teku livery for Team Teku before the car was totaled and replaced with Battle Spec. That Teku version of Sling Shot was famously never released, but now here in 2025, it is finally getting a release in the new AcceleReece Silver Series set that is coming out later this year. I would have included it in this video, but this is being filmed before that comes out. However, when that set releases, I will be doing review videos on it, so stick around for that if you want to see the new Teku Sling Shot. Of course, this standard Street Breed Sling Shot is not the only Sling Shot they released for Highway 35. There was also this gold variation of it, where it had a gold side panels, gold rim around the wheel, and a gold interior. This one only showed up in the Video Pack 2 packs. It is a kind of hard to find variation, but as you can see there, very cool looking. You can see the gold interior poking through the base here. Is it me or the purple looks lighter too? I think it's a different shade of purple. Then there was this version that came exclusive with the Hot Wheels Highway 35 World Race Ultimate Track Set. That track set is hard to get, so this Sling Shot is also hard to get, especially in mint condition. This one just has normal tampos. You got Highway 35 Hot Wheels on the hood there. Oh, it actually says Hot Wheels or Highway 35 World Race on the hood, whereas most of the other Highway 35 cars just say Highway 35. So that's pretty interesting. And these very cool black and yellow, almost caution tape looking decals. Yellow window, like a gunmetal gray, metal flake, metal body. Of course, we're still metal base, metal body, chrome interior. PR5s again. So yeah, this is kind of a hard to find Sling Shot. That's pretty cool. And then there is the Zamac version of the Highway 35 World Race Sling Shot. This came in a box set that was only available on the Redline Club. You can buy online for Redline Club members. This is basically the same as, you know, the Sling Shot here, but is just the bare metal with a clear coat over it, no decals. This is one of, if not my favorite Sling Shot releases, because I don't know, man. I'm usually not that type that's like, oh, it's gotta be clean, bro, especially with fantasy cars, but like, this is one of the few fantasy cars that I think looks its best without any decals, just clean. So that gray is the raw metal underneath. There is a clear coat on this. Still metal base here. We still got the green window and the green trim, which I think it just looks nice. Looks nice. They did this for all the team leaders. There were 5 cars in that box set. And of course, the sister to this car is the 1 of 1000 Z36 Sling Shot, which was exclusive to a huge Highway 35 box set that was again available on the Redline Club for members. It had all 35 cars in the box set, plus the bonus Z36. So there were only 1,000 of these box sets produced, so there's only 1,000 Z36s in circulation. So this is pretty much the rarest Sling Shot they ever made. It's so rare, I don't even take it out of the box, so you're just gonna have to settle for these shots of it inside the package, inside the box there. So it's behind multiple layers of protection. Now, because of these co-mold wheels, there is a difference in casting between the original Slingshot and this World Race version. Let me show you. So right here, as you can see on the bases, because the co-mold wheels have this little nub on the inner side of the wheel there, they had to put these sort of tabs here on the base to kind of hold them in place. Because as you can see, the co-mold wheels here, they are skinnier than the PR5 wheels on the original one. So the original is just clean across, does not have that nub. So that is a very minor casting change that happened in the early life of Slingshot. The only other Slingshot release that had the tooling with these tabs was this white Race Aces, I think is the series. I think this is from 2004. This is a Slingshot. There is a version that has just normal PR5 wheels like this, but then there was a variation of it that had the CM5s. This time they have a chrome rim instead of the green chrome. It's just a normal silver chrome. I like to drill these for wheel swaps a lot. These are good wheel donors. But as you can see there, we've got the little tabs. They only use those tabs when they release one with co-mold wheels, and this one and the 3 World Race releases with co-molds are the only ones that have those tabs on the bottom. If you find the one with the PR5s, it's gonna have the tooling that doesn't have the tabs. So that's not only a wheel variation, but it is a tooling variation. Going over some other notable Slingshot releases, this Slingshot here came exclusive with a track set. It was the Serpent Cyclone track set. This came out in 2003. This is the only Slingshot that comes with big wheels in the back. The wheel size in the back is actually a bigger size than the standard size that Slingshot gets. It is also the only Slingshot to have bumpy wheels in the back. Only in the back though, not the front, just the back. The reason it had these big bumpy wheels is because when it went around the Serpent Cyclone, which is like a bunch of loops, it would zip around and make like a zoo, 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 zoo sound effect. I'll throw in a clip if I can. So that's a pretty cool, unique Slingshot. I know this aqua blue window has been used as a parts donor for Teku Slingshot customs a lot. Of course, on the topic of rare Slingshots, there's the one that is included in the Mutant Biotronic Kingdom, or MBK 20 car box set that I just reviewed on this channel. So if you want to check that out, there'll be a card suggestion pop up at the end of the video. There is a Slingshot in that set that is one of 5,000. It's in this really cool orange with a black window, black metal base. I can't show every Slingshot release because then we'd be here all day. I'm just gonna go over some notable ones. Here's one from the mid 2000s. This is like a 2006 Track Aces Slingshot in this really cool metal flake bright sky blue. This is now the OH5 wheels, had been introduced in 2005, so we got this OH5 wheels. Again, this car appeared in a lot of Track Aces, Track Stars, you know, those sort of series because it was good on the track. Got a red window there, chrome interior again. We're still working with the metal on metal with the metal body, metal base. I really like this release of Slingshot. I think the delivery looks really cool. The last release of the original Slingshot casting before it was retooled was right here. This came out in 2012 for the Thrill Racers series. I think this was in the main line. So it's got this volcano theme going on here with lots of flames. This one isn't in the most mint condition, as you can see with that axle, but this is the very last release of Slingshot in the original tooling with that metal base, metal body. As you can see, some of the information is kind of changed here. Here's the original 2002 release, and then here's the 2012 version. You can see the logo has been updated with the current logo at the time and a different font down there with the text. But aside from that, the casting remains mostly the same. We got orange wheels, chrome rim. I know it's kind of hard to tell because it's rubbing off a bit, but a really cool metal flake, like dark red, kind of maroon. We got volcano lava flame decals there, number 5 on the side, Hot Wheels logo, and then a number 5 again with a black stripe there on the hood. This yellow windows, this kind of reminds me of the color schemes they would do today. These kind of really out there, colorful, kind of garish color schemes. But yeah, that volcano Slingshot, that was the last one they did in this original tooling, but that does not mean that its legacy is over because Slingshot did live on In 2014, the Sling Shot returned to the main line, this time with a bit of a makeover. Now, the original one was in white, but this was the recolor in dark blue. This was the Hot Wheels Race Team sub-series. Around 2013 to 2014-ish, they changed their manufacturing standards, specifically for the $1 mainlines, the Hot Wheels Basics. The parts of the cars used to be assembled by hand, by human hands, but in order to cut costs, cutting labor is how you save money. So they changed it to a machine which sandwiches the cars vertically together. So they ended up having to retool and redesign a lot of the line. Cars with like tucked parts, with tab and post designs, they need to be changed to have a 2 rivet rule. You couldn't have separate spoilers or separate parts anymore, so a lot of cars had to be retooled. Of course, I showed you before how complicated the build is on the original Sling Shot. So the fact that they went through the extra effort to retool it just means that this casting was important enough to them to keep it alive. So let's go over the changes here. We still got a metal body, but we have a plastic base now. As you can see, there's the rivet in the front like before, but instead of that tab there, we got a rivet in the back, and that is coming down through the body here, which, yeah, they closed the spoiler. So as you can see here, this part here that was open, they have closed it, and that is because they can get a rivet from the body down through to the base. So, you know, this whole like floating rear end has kind of been taken out. You know, you win some, you lose some. The side pipes are also now part of the base instead of part of the interior. However, that scoop at the top is still part of the interior. So all that part tucking and all that complicated stuff that was going on the inside of this has been simplified for ease of manufacturing. It was hard for us to get used to at first, but by now I'm kind of used to it. I understand why they have to do it. If this is what they have to do to keep this casting alive, then I'm fine with that, because Sling Shot is one of my favorite castings. And yes, unfortunately, the Teku Sling Shot that's coming out later this year will be a retool, but what are you gonna do? As of right now, this right here is the most recent Sling Shot release that came out as of the making of this video. Of course, the Teku one is coming out very soon, so if you're watching this in the future, that one might be out by now, but as of the making of this is the last one. This was a multi-pack exclusive from 2024. They've been doing Sling Shot in multi-pack exclusives for a while now. They keep kind of just recoloring this same livery, just in different color schemes. There was one that was in a mystery model set that had a different livery, but aside from that, they just haven't really been doing new liveries for Sling Shot. But it's still nice to see it on the shelves when it's in the multi-packs. I actually really like this one. Of the multi-pack releases they've been doing for the past couple years, I think I like this one the best. I like those wheels. I'm not big on the Trap 5 wheels, but these wheels look pretty cool on Sling Shot. Hot Wheels Racing, it's literally the same livery as this Hot Wheels Racing Team 1 from 2014. They're still using this livery, just in different color schemes. So the Teku one will be a nice breath of fresh air for a new Sling Shot livery. We've only had like one in the past like 10 years maybe. I wish this casting would get more love. I wish it was in the mainline more often. For us fantasy fans, I think the Sling Shot is one of the most iconic castings, Hot Wheels castings. I just wish Hot Wheels gave it the same love that we do. You can call me biased, because this is my favorite casting, but I think I speak for a lot of fantasy fans here. I think this is a fan favorite. It's not just me. I think this is a very beloved casting for a lot of people. We did get a little bit of Sling Shot love recently. Mattel Creations held a little contest where fans could make their own t-shirt designs for different Mattel brands, and the people would vote on the best one that would get made. And this Sling Shot design won for Hot Wheels, which I think says a lot, because this was voted on. This was democracy right here. As you can see, it features that like purple and green color scheme, which kind of references the original World Race Street Breed one. So yeah, this is an actual t-shirt design that you can go buy on Mattel Creations right now. And if you really love Sling Shot, I highly recommend you do it. This is not a paid advertisement or anything. I'm just, I wouldn't tell you to buy something that I wouldn't buy myself. So I love this t-shirt. I think it's awesome. Sling Shot was prominently featured in Hot Wheels World Race and at the beginning of Hot Wheels AcceleReecers, and I think that's probably what it's mostly known for in the Hot Wheels community, but also This car just appeared in a lot of media in the early 2000s. It appeared in a lot of the video games. It almost appeared in Velocity X, but it was cut last minute. Of course, it appeared in the World Race video game. It appeared in Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge. And as of recently, this World Race version was just included in Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, which came out quite recently. I think it was about 2023. But before you go away, this review isn't over, because now it's time for the Stunt Track Challenge.
Okay, get ready to race. 3, 2, 1, go! That's how it's done.
All right, guys, thanks for watching this Hot Wheels original review of the Sling Shot. If you stuck around this far, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys engaging with my videos. Thank you for watching. This is AcceleReece of Tesla's Cube signing out. Peace out, guys. See you in the next one.